Hello, time for creative writing. Our topic today is sand. Now, we've been talking about the three important things that need to be found in every sentence. Do you remember what they are? Capital letter, punctuation at the end, and a complete thought. If it's not a complete thought, it's not a sentence. We would call that a phrase. And to explain between a phrase and a sentence, what lunch option did we talk about? Macaroni and cheese. So over here on the board, I have some macaroni. Castle at the beach. That is not a complete thought. If I just said castle at the beach, you wouldn't know exactly what I was talking about. But we could easily add some words to it to make it a complete thought. The castle at the beach is tall. Period. Now that's a complete thought. Sand in my shoe. What can I add to sand in my shoe to make it a complete thought? The sand in my shoe feels funny. Period. The sand in my shoe feels funny. Now that's macaroni and cheese. It is a complete thought. The first step to writing a story is gather information. Listen to these fun facts about sand. The world's tallest sandcastle is almost 42 feet tall. Now let's put that into perspective. Here's my ruler. There's 12 inches in a foot. So to get to 42 feet, that would be one ruler plus another ruler plus another ruler. It's over 500 inches. So that's several rulers on top of each other to get to 42 feet. Whew, that's a very tall sandcastle. Sand is used to help vehicles drive in slippery roads. It can when the sand touches the wheels, it gives it friction so that it doesn't slide as much. So it's useful. Sand is used in an hourglass to tell time. Maybe when you've played a game, have you had a timer that all the sand has to come down this way? Then the time is done. The next time your turn is done, the next time you play the game, you flip it the other way and the sand comes down again. That's another use of sand. Sandbags are used during floods to hold back water. Maybe you've seen pictures of flooded areas that have bags of sand around so that the water only goes up to a certain point and maybe can protect some of the buildings. That's probably quite often done when heavy storms like hurricanes are going to be coming. Okay, so those are my fun facts. Now, how can we take those facts or some of your own ideas and work them into sentences? So we gather information, then we write, and then we rewrite. Remember, this is just where we're getting our thoughts out of our head onto our paper so that we can begin to make a good story. Use your 5 senses: taste, smell, hearing, sight, and touch. Asking yourself, what does sand feel like? That can help to start some sentences. What does sand sound like? Now, I don't think sand actually has a sound, but where is sand? It's usually near water. It's obviously we think of it at a beach. What does it look like? How does it feel? It feels hot, or it can feel it can feel rough. Where do you find it? How can you use it? Well, we talked about you can use it in a timer. So let's work together to come up with 2 sentences, and then you will come up with one on your own later. Let's see. I'm going to start my first sentence with that I'm going to go to the beach. So remember, our story has a beginning, middle, and end. So we need to tell our readers what's happening. Where are we? What is the character in our story going to do? So I'm going to start my first sentence with, today we go to the beach. Period. So I have a capital letter, I have a punctuation, and it is a complete thought. Today we go to the beach. Now I've run out of room, so my next sentence will have to start on this line. But if you don't run out of room, you can keep going on that same line. My next sentence, I'm going to use one of the ones that we fixed down here. Sand in my shoe, remember that one? I'm going to use the cheese that we added and make it say, the sand in my shoe feels funny. So in my story, I've made it to the beach, and now what's going to happen next? The sand in my shoe feels funny. The sand in my, notice I'm leaving a space between each word, but it's not too big. If your space is too big, then you're not going to be able to fit as much on your paper, and you'll be wasting space. The sand in my shoe feels. Now, I have one more word for that sentence, but no more space. No problem. I come down to my next line. Funny. Remember, you have to, for F, it curves around this way. And then he jumps out. Period. Today we go to the beach. The sand in my shoe feels funny. What are you going to do at the beach? What are you going to see at the beach? That is going to be up to you. In Google Classroom, I will leave a creative corner and I will put some words there that maybe will help bring up some sentences, but you don't have to use those. Maybe you can come up with one on your own. So remember, the title is sand, so we're talking about something that has to do with sand. But you can be creative with that. Obviously, our story took us to the beach, so you could talk about something you saw while you were there, something you did while you were there. You're going to end the story. I need one more sentence, but if you are feeling very creative and you want to write more than one, that is perfectly fine, and I will enjoy reading it. So go ahead and get started on that, and then take a photo so I can read your story, because we gather information, we write and rewrite, then we, in the end, we share. So that's the part that I want you to be able to do by sending it to me so I can read it. All right, bye-bye.